What's going on, guys? It's Wilms here, and today we're gonna be doing a new series called, I guess I'm gonna call it like Thursday Talks or something like that. I don't know, the two T's, and I don't know. I just don't really have a name for the series yet. But yeah. So to introduce the series, it's basically gonna be like where I take like a topic and I go really in depth on it, or something like that. That sounds kind of weird. It sounds like some school stuff or something like that. But um, I don't know. I'm gonna try and make like the topics as interesting as I possibly can, and yeah. So today's topic is gonna be the future of like YouTube slash trick shotting overall. I don't know. I just kind of thought this is like a really interesting subject, just because like it's so cool to like think about what like all of this is gonna like become in the future. Like in the next year, like even in the next year, it's gonna be pretty crazy. Like just and anyway, I'm gonna get into it. So first of all, you might say, oh well, what's gonna happen in the next year? Well, first of all, Faye's is probably gonna get another million and a half subscribers, and that's gonna be like a whole nother like that's gonna be so many new people who are like ready to trick shot and all that stuff. And like a lot of people don't notice this, but the main, like right now, there's trick shotters that are like 18 and they're getting older. They're about to go off to college and they're probably not going to trick shot anymore. I mean, like guys in SOAR who, have been trying to get in phase for maybe like a year or something like that. I know there's some people in there. But like they, pretty much if you don't get in phase by the time you go off to college, it's like you're probably just not gonna, you're probably just not gonna even keep playing, because you're just like, oh well, I kind of have no point to play if I'm in college and I need to kind of focus on my life and stuff like that. And that's a pretty solid point. And like, so those guys are just going to quit. And then what's going to happen is it's going to open up a lot of new spaces in SOAR and all those other clans. And it's basically going to make like, it's going to make way for like a new generation of like gaming trick shotter people. Like, I know that I was in like I think I was like a sixth grade or something like that. It was like my end of sixth grade year or whatever, and that's when I like first started playing online games and stuff like that. And like I really started getting into trick shotting like about halfway through seventh grade, and I mean it's taken like a lot of time to sort of like get good at all this stuff. And I was pretty young back then, and there are a lot of young like kids playing COD. Like there, I've heard 6-year-olds playing COD. I get screamed at by 6-year-olds on Xbox Live. And so you think about it and you're just like, well, out of the hundreds of thousands and millions of people that play Call of Duty, there's guaranteed like people that like number one, pretty much all those people know of FaZe, or like at least 99% of them do. So they know what trick shotting is. So then you got to think, how many of those people are going to trick shot? And you got to think, well, there's going to be a lot of people that's probably going to trick shot, like easily like 100,000 probably. And so then you think, oh, you got a bunch of 10-year-old trick shotters that suck. And you're just like, well, that doesn't do us anything. Well, give it like a year, 2 years. Like for me, I was whenever I started trick shotting, it took me about 2 or 3 years before I was like actually like I could time all my stuff and all that stuff and get my like shots down. So give these kids like a couple years, like a year or two, and like they're gonna be like really, really good. And so it's just kind of interesting to think how many new trick shotters are like each day, honestly, are like getting introduced to this whole thing. And like honestly, I think there's going to be a lot of money making opportunities and stuff like that. And for all the people that are just like, oh, money whores and it's just a game. Well, it's like, yeah, it's just a game, but like why not make your job like, why don't like have fun with your job, like that's kind of what everybody like. I mean, honestly, if I got offered a job or something and it involved me playing video games, that's such an easy job. Like, why not do it, And anyway, like for some people it's easy, some people it's not. But so like my point, like it's just there's gonna be a lot of new trick shotters and all this stuff, and it's gonna open up like so many. Like honestly, there's probably gonna be like 5 to 10 clans that are just gonna like equivalent to SOAR within the next like 2 3 years, and it's just gonna be insane. And by then, SOAR is probably gonna be like they're probably gonna have like almost a million or a million, and it's gonna be pretty interesting. And then you also have to think about all the big YouTubers that are gonna have like a couple million or million, like all the trick shotters who now have like 500,000, like Apex and Rain and those guys. And it's a really interesting thing to think about because it's like everybody kind of, it seems like such like a little small world almost, of trick shotters right now. And I mean, honestly, it's only going to grow, because every day there's thousands of people getting introduced to phase, and they think in their head like, I mean, easily like a good amount of those guys are going to be like, oh, I want a trick shot and stuff like that. I mean, like there's probably only going to be like like a little percentile of those, like a couple thousand each day, that actually like goes on and really wants to try and trick shot. And that's kind of how it was like with me. Out of my friends, that sort of taught me how to trick shot when I first started, like I'm the only one from them that like actually continued with it, like I'm the only one that wanted to make progress with it. I got a PVR, I got the software, I started working on it, I started meeting new people, getting a couple connections. I slowly but surely like worked it up, and I mean now I'm in high, which I mean a lot of people, that's not a big clan. I mean, consider, to me, I feel like it's a big clan because it's like, hey, there's people in SOAR that definitely, like everybody in SOAR definitely knows a high. And when I was in Young, it's like not everybody in SOAR probably knows of Young. And so like, I mean, I consider it a big step up, and I'm starting to take like all of it more seriously now and stuff like that. Whereas when I was in Young, it was just kind of like not laid back, and so I mean, it's I don't know. Anyway, but so also the future of YouTube, and actually like the future of YouTubers, period. Like right now, YouTube, like I see it, and I think a lot of companies should see it, is a very open and like unexplored market of opportunity, because you have all these like big teams. Like for instance, let's take Scuff for example. They decide to sponsor Phase. They're like a multi like a million, probably, I don't even know if billion yet, but multi-million dollar company like that, like just so fast. And same thing with Gamma Labs. Like they build up, like I mean they basically sponsor that clan, and it gets them so much business. And like what do they have to do? Just give free products to the members of the clan. Like it's not that hard. And so like there's so many windows for opportunity with businesses, period. Like I mean honestly, companies could, if they find a way to like sponsor gaming clans, like I'm sure you could find some way of sponsoring a gaming clan with like sweat towels or something, like maybe as a joke, but I mean there's all this stuff. Like I know there's a company that literally their specialty is helping big teams like produce their apparel stores, and I think it's called Comeuppance or something like that. And I mean, like, there's so much money to be made, and like, no one knows about it. But the good thing about all of us YouTubers, people are just like, oh, you need to go to college, you get a job. When companies want to hire, like, I mean, in the future, YouTube is going to grow because there is no other YouTube, and there will not be another YouTube. And that basically means YouTube can kind of do whatever they want. You can put whatever ads, whatever on there, because people are never going to stop using their site because there's not a competitor. They have a monopoly of it. But so businesses might be like, oh, we need a YouTube management specialist, like someone that deals with YouTube and getting our name out there and stuff like that. And like then we as like YouTubers and stuff like that, we're already experienced like that. We already know all the ins and outs, all the like ways to get more views, get more likes, like times to upload, like who to sponsor, who not to sponsor, how to contact people. Like, I mean, these are all extremely valuable skills, and I guarantee that like all of these are going to be used later on in life. Like if you try and get a job, like people want to, like companies want to hire like people that know YouTube and stuff like that. And I mean, we know how it works best, we're kids growing up using it and all that stuff. And so, I mean, it's just really interesting to think about. And like, I think we're honestly pretty well set. And yeah, so this kind of is the end of the Thursday Talks episode 1. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and just leave a like if you did. Thanks. Peace.